in the world of documentary filmmaking, reality television, that style of cinema, your piece will be fleshed out by conducting various interviews. Um, Sometimes they're identified as on-the-fly interviews, and that is exactly what it sounds like. You cover a piece, something has happened. So once the action is done, once the drama or the comedy is over, take a second, you pull your subject aside, and you conduct an OTF, an on-the-fly interview. If you have a field producer with you, that producer tends to stand to your left or your right and will act as your subject's eye line. That's basically that. Again, every piece is differently, but a majority of the pieces that I do tend to cut out the questions of the interviewer while they're asking. So it's important to tell the person that you're interviewing to repeat the subject of the question in their response. It's if they answer your question with a simple yes or a non-specific response, it's never going to cut together. So if you ask, "What day is it?" They simply say, "Wednesday." You're never going to hear me ask you what day it is. So make sure that they repeat that question back in the response. "Today is Wednesday." As simple as that. If you're asking, "What's your favorite color?" If they just say blue, that's never going to cut if you don't intend to have your interviewer's questions cut into the piece. So make sure they repeat, "My favorite color is blue." Granted, this isn't gospel because sometimes people want to hear the interviewer. It's a stylistic choice, but it's good to be aware of those things. There's a variety of other types of interviews that you're going to go into. Sit-down interviews, like the one we're in now. The cinematographer, whether it's you or a colleague, lights the interview, and an interview sits across from me, and we have a back and forth. We ask questions, we answer, and sometimes that involves a two-camera shoot where you can see said interviewer, or sometimes it's this type of an interview where you're never going to hear Corey's beautiful voice. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be cut out. So it's important to answer in detail and make sure that you specify what was asked.